It's 10:55. I want to see who the early birds are. Who joins early? This is a Forex Lens after hours. Anything can go. You don't have to just ask me trade related questions. You can ask me whatever. I'm joking. Maybe. But yeah, we'll officially start at 11. Just give people time to join. While you guys join, I'm gonna keep the mic unmuted so you guys can hear me, so you don't get alone. I'm just trying to get the live chat running so I could have it on the screen during my live, which is easier said than done, but we'll give it a go. So for the guys that signed up on the portal, I wouldn't need to share the link, but there's some people that are, I don't know, I guess lazy, don't want to sign up to the portal. I have to send out the link manually. So this is why we usually start our lives 15 minutes after 11 a.m. just to do this kind of ad hoc stuff. So let me go ahead and send this link through, cause join tonight's live session. And I hope you guys are starting to trade on your own. That's ideally what I want. Like I said, there's no incentive for me to do these live sessions. I'm not getting paid per view or per video. Technically I'm supposed to do a video a day, but I felt passionate about the charts tonight. You can see I changed up the colors, and I'm like, let me treat you guys today, because last week was, in terms of the live schedule, it was lackluster, so I apologize. So I'm just sending this link through. In the meantime, send your pairs and questions through. It could be, last time someone asked, how do I plot the stop loss, take profits? It's cool. You can ask me how to plot trend lines, channels. It doesn't have to be, a pair specific. It could also be like gold. Right now I have oil. I haven't looked at oil in a while, but it's nice to switch it up sometimes. I also, analyze Bitcoin from time to time. If you guys follow our trading view, you'll see. Oops. Yeah, those are good. They're good traders, by the way. But yeah, so send them in. If you have a friend that trades, let them in on this link. Let them know about the free trading room. It's July's halfway over, so you still got 2 solid weeks to really test it out. And who knows, you may even extend the date, but definitely get your, it's free. Everyone likes free stuff, so get in on it. Takes 5 minutes to sign up. But let me just share these links through, and if you can get started, please send through your pairs and questions, your comments, remarks. All are appreciated. Let me know if the audio is good. Last time was pretty bad, so I apologize for that. We did send out an email talking about the Signal service and trading room combo. We're getting a lot of good reception from it. We're actually pretty shocked, which is great. Sending these through. Oops. This is after hours. You're gonna hear a lot of that stuff. USD CAD, cool. We're actually in there right now, and man, did we get faked out? Let me actually check. Oh, well, we're only 20 pips in drawdown. The stop loss is, I think, 34. No, 37. Yeah, USD CAD is definitely something we'll look at. Hey, Catalora, how are you? Yeah, guys, send in questions, some pairs, and we can get started. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. But yeah, send this, share this live link around. We don't advertise anything at the end of it or anything. It's just straight chart work. And let me know what you guys think about the color change. You know, we went from completely dark to bright as hell. But I like it. This is what I used years prior to now, and you know, I just thought it was time for a change. So we switched up the colors. For those that are on the portal and the chat is not working right now. It's a work in progress. You know, let me let you guys in on it. We're just trying to figure out the logistics of whether we should make people's username anonymous, and you know, things like preventing spam. You know, a lot of stuff goes into, you know, releasing something like the chat. Till then, the YouTube chat will suffice. So if you are on the my bad, I'm screen. If you're on the portal and you know, have a question or a comment, just pop into the YouTube live and send that through. I do apologize, but that's the last thing we need to finish on the portal, to be honest, and we'll be good to go. It'd be nice to have a day session, a night session. Yeah. So you know, we're in the Eastern time zone, so 9 to 5 is what I usually work for Forex Lens. Oh yeah, New Zealand, exactly. So yeah, when I probably do the 11 session, you guys are probably asleep. Some of you, you know, different time zones, but thankfully YouTube processes them and you can watch them, but you can't ask questions. So you know, from time to time I will do the nighttime sessions, exactly for people like Cadillaro that's in New Zealand. It's crazy. We have clients from New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, obviously, Argentina, Australia. So that's the thing about Forex. You know, it's a big community, and at Forex Lens, you know, I'm personally gonna try to cater to everyone. I personally can't sleep at night anyways, so I'm usually up. So I, you know, thought I'd do this. Okay, so I probably will get started. As we go along, you can tell me to stop, slow down, repeat myself. Share the link before I start. Get people in here. Get them exposed to just a different way of trading. It's a naked based trading. I remember since we have time to kill and I'm waiting for people to join. I've been trading for about almost 6 years now. My first year, I saw a MetaTrader on the App Store, right? I downloaded it, made a demo, and whatever you see, like you just enter a bunch of random trades and think you know what you're doing, and made some money, and I'm like, oh man, I can do this. So gullible me made a live account, put 1,000 in there, and blew it. I did it again with the $3,000 account, and I blew that. And then I did it once more with 1,000, where I tried to implement risk management, and I blew that. So I lost about 5,000 my first year. And then I received proper training from one of the biggest Forex companies in the world. They reside in the UK, obviously because of non-competes. I can't say their name. But if you've been in the Forex game, you probably know who I'm talking about. So I did their program, and it's phenomenal. And this is the way, a lot of institutions trade. It's a naked variation of trading, supply and demand zones, trend lines, and obviously we take the fundamentals. But it's been a long journey, and so for those that are in different time zones, try to watch the processed video, and then just practice on the charts. Just practice, because once you get that strategy down, there's nothing the market can take from you. It'll work in every condition, and you'll be the shot caller. You won't have to rely on RP or Blitz, Bloom to call signals. You're going to be the man. But that's the goal. So enough yapping. I don't want to put people to sleep. Let's get into it. So USD CAD, let's look at it. And then I guess I'll look at some extra pairs like Euro, USD, Aussie shorts that I just called. So USD CAD. Let me fix this mic. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, did we get faked. And I hope it comes back in our favor. But so this is what I was seeing last week. I posted the analysis on our trading view, and it was just a continuation short, right? So we had this descending channel, and I mean, if for those that have been following USD CAD, we've been going down for a long time now. So what my idea was, let me zoom in. Well, my idea was, I believe I posted the idea right at this candle, right at the close. And so what I was saying is we have this descending trend line as confluence, and we had a closure below the support at 1.30311, right? So I mean, it is a support, and we flirted around there. So maybe, yeah, the entry was a little premature, but based on the USD and the current fundamentals and the overall strength CAD was showing, like CAD was gaining against the yen, it was gaining against the Swiss, it was gaining against euro. So it was, against all these pairs, it was showing strength, right? And the stop loss is based on this idea. It's 37 pips. No, yeah, 37 or so pips. So it's nothing, it's not gonna break the bank or anything. But yeah. So we floated around entry, and then we kind of took off. This is where we should have gotten out, but I believe I was asleep, and then the day kind of just got away from me. But this candle right here off support, nice bullish engulfing. There's two meanings to bullish engulfing. A lot of people know the one where this candle would take over this candle in terms of covering it. I can't see an example here, but I believe you guys know the classic example. Another one is where the candle that prints itself is bigger than the previous 5. And this candle is obviously, let me just remove this. It's obviously bigger than this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So that's why we had this little bull run, and we're coming near resistance. I believe that's where we slowed down. Our stop is just a bit above it, just to give us clearance. For all we know, this could just come back down. But we'll hang tight in there. If you do want to close, you can close out at like negative 27 pips. But this is why we impose risk management, euro yen. I'll look at it. But I mean, overall, the USD CAD has so much ground to recover for even to be considered a trend reversal. We're just looking at since May. Since May, it's just been free falling. It made some decent side retraces where people thought it was reversing. So a lot of people thought, oh, it's time to reverse, swing along. That didn't happen. Same thing here, time to swing along. That didn't happen. So this next support area, we're showing some buyers, but honestly, I still see USD CAD going down. We are near our stop loss, and I usually don't like moving our stops once we're in the trade, but in all honesty, don't be surprised if later this week I call the same short, even after we get stopped out. Look, we haven't even made it retrace. Right now we're around 29 pips in drawdown. If you look at the retraces here, these are all like 60, 70 pip retraces before a nice fallout. And we still are making lower lows, lower highs. And as long as we don't take out this lower high, we're still short. And the risk to reward is still there. This ascending trend line is from the weekly. Pop out, and we can see. So just looking at it overall, we were making higher highs, higher lows, and then we started to make these lower highs, lower lows. So obviously a trend shift. But that's what I'm seeing with USD CAD. I'd like to explain why I took the trade. So pound CHF. The pound CHF, I was looking at that earlier, and AUD CHF. There's some setups there. I believe I covered AUD CHF earlier today. But all right, let's look at euro yen. Let me know if the audio is okay. I feel like I'm too close to the mic. But last time people couldn't hear me. So also, if you guys want, let me know ASAP. A lot of these charts I have the levels down. Sometimes I usually just right click and remove all drawing tools. So all these levels are gone, and I analyze it from top to bottom. If you want me to do that, say that now. Just say full analysis euro yen, or full analysis euro Aussie, or whatever the case may be, and I'll do that. If not, we will just continue like this. But yeah, again, so Euro Aussies, the yen has been having tremendous strength as a safe haven during the global trade tensions. That was obviously predicted. Same with the Swiss, but the yen is still showing strength. I don't think any pair has really made a gain against the yen other than CAD. We're still making lower lows, lower highs for Euro yen. I plotted this stop loss take profit. This was probably on the weekend. I just wanted to see if we could drop down, but it's looking like we made a retest, a nice rejection, and then we'll probably go down. Plotting out the trend line, we can see we've actually broke out of the trend line right here. I did a wick to wick as such, and we did close above it. So if you're looking for shorts, what's concerning to me is this candle right here. This fat bullish candle right here. After we had this sort of evening star rejection, we kind of printed this fat candle, and it's way outside. It's outside of this descending trend line. So we could have a nice long, just pulling back a bit. We can see that 121.641 has been a nice support region during this yen takeover. We spent pretty much the entirety of a week right in this area in July, and then finally rebounded off it. Tried to close below it, rebounded off it, came back again last week, bounced off it, had a rally. So if you're looking for longs, which I think will be the best option given how the current candle is forming, you can definitely have something in the cards. Just looking to the left for something like a take profit level, something like this. Looking for the area of most activity, something like this would be good. Your stops obviously would be very, very small, because you are trading against the trend. So you have to be aware of that. My fault. But something like this, watch out for price action. Price action meaning you want a candle to come above this level, 121.641, a close, maybe a retest. So kind of like what we had here, a nice bullish hammer printed before we shot up. Same thing what we want here. So that's what I'd see for Euro Yen. Just because we broke a recent descending trend line, but technically it still is a downtrend because we're still making lower lows and lower highs, and this lower high respected this one, so we could in fact go down. But the way this candle closed and the way this one is printing, I do see us at least coming up to 1.21.641. So when you get to that level, see the price action. If we do get a nice rejection, you can have a short something the other way, and a further leg down. So something like this could happen. If we get a nice rejection candle here, you can do something like this. So either way, it's just it is Monday, so you're not gonna get too much movement tomorrow in terms of fundamentals. We got pound at 430, so if you're in pound, watch out. Average earnings, it's major. Kearney is speaking again at 8 a.m. Major. FOMC Bowman. Usually Bowman doesn't move the market too much unless he's indicating what Powell will say next. And then USD core retail sales. So we have major fundamentals tomorrow. And then there we go. So I was right. So Powell was going to speak at 1. So Bowman might indicate what Powell will say. So if you are awake at this time, right before New York, go to Bloomberg Live on our portal and watch the speech. And if you're getting any hints of rate cuts from Bowman, expect USD weakness. And so yeah, tomorrow's a big day for fundamentals, the pound, the euro, and the USD. So hopefully our trades play out by then, or at least we get to take profit one. Sounds clear. Odd yen, cool. And pound CHF. So I'll just go in order. So for euro yen, just watch the price action. Hopefully you got these levels down. It's been respecting them pretty nicely. Pound CHF. talk about minors, this is definitely a minor. Okay, perfect. I have never analyzed pound CHF, at least not on this chart. So you know what we'll analyze it from top to bottom, so the new users can get an idea of how I trade. So pop to the monthly. I zoom out a bit, see if I can draw any trend lines, support, resistance, channels, double tops, head and shoulders. So obviously, at one point in time, if we're talking about 97 to the early 2000, pound CHF was up here. But right now price is here, so I'm not even going to concern myself with anything up here. So our focus will be down in this region, okay? That's our near-term regions. Looking over here, I like to use zones, support and resistance zones, at least for the larger time frames. So one zone is right here. For me, I draw my zones where there's a lot of wicks or price went out of its way to wick that area. So right here, right? On the monthly, so this one wick could probably be 10 wicks on the daily. So price went out of its way to wick down here, and then price came down and wicked here and, had a rally here. I believe on smaller time frames, we'll figure out why we wicked down here. Do I see any trend lines I can draw? Yes, I do. So obviously we are in a downtrend, so I can draw this. Perfect. And do I see anything else? Yeah, if you want to be nitpicky, you can also draw a trend line like this. It could be considered a support, a dynamic support, but that's what I see so far. So obviously overall trend is down. Let's see what the weekly tells us. When it gets to the weekly, I do the same thing, but this time I plot my weekly levels. And we actually have a nice weekly level right here. You can use the rectangle. I'm just going to use the horizontal line. I usually give these lines 5 to 10 pips of leeway. So a nice support region at 1.22577. So whoever asked about pound CHF, take your time to plot this level down, because we're about to approach it very soon. And yeah, real nice support. And the next support after this one is this region right here at around 1.20,000 area. So we're coming to that support. Do I see any other levels? I actually do. So I bring out my horizontal ray, and we recently broke this support. So this was also support in near term back in December, in August all the way to December. So it's a nice support. We have a lot of wicks, but no closures below 1.24682. Great key level, and another benefit is that when we did come down, price came up and retested it right here. Retested this key level, we got a rejection and a nice follow through. So that's what I see as two key levels, right here and right here. So if you're looking for shorts for pound CHF, the perfect entry would have been after this candle. Right at this rejection candle, a nice evening star in the lower time frame. You could have made around 120 pips. But anything else, any trend lines, I do not see that. We had an aggressive push down. I mean, there's not one bullish candle in sight in this fallout, which is interesting. So we may be due for a retrace. Popping to the daily, we can see overall momentum is quieting down. So when we had that tap at the descending trend line, we had nice follow. Fat bearish candles. We had this one retest of the EMAs, rejections, and once we came around 1.27221, we started seeing some more buyers come in. So we see a huge fallout, small retrace. Then the fallout gets smaller, the retrace gets a little bigger, the fallouts are getting smaller, the retraces are there, the fallout increased, but we also had an equal amount of buyers. So what it's telling me is as pound CHF is dropping, the sellers are taking their contracts, taking their profits, and buyers are coming in. And so if you're looking for any near-term setups, I'd honestly watch out for anything indicating shorts here, because it just could be a fake out. We're so close to a support region. We're about 70 pips and change from the nearest support region, And technically, we also have a minor support region right here in the lower time frame. So there's actually another entry breaking that down. This is another daily support. We see the actions right here. And remember I said we had a retest and a fallout. There's another entry point right here for those that were looking for shorts. After this candle printed, we had a nice entry short down. But honestly, for pound CHF, I'd be looking for buys. Just because there are buyers being introduced into the market. We're coming down to a historical point. I believe, just looking to the left, huge support. Every time we came here, we've rebounded. I believe one of these points is the flash crash. All the way to the left. Yeah, this one's the flash crash. So be wary of using that. But looking at, normal fundamentals and technicals, we respected this region very well. So if you're looking for a swing long of the ages, have a buy stop somewhere around here, watch the price action, and go long. Let me go to the hourly. See, maybe there is a point where you can short down to that level. Let's pull out the fibs. See if the fibs give us an entry. But yeah, I like the energy and the overall activity. It's great, guys. So let's pop out the fibs from our recent high to our recent swing low. So came down here, had a retest over the 61.8, fall out. Moving to our next swing high. We're currently sitting at 23.6. So we could make a higher retrace, maybe somewhere to 60. So at least 0.5. So the 50 fib level or the 61.8. Before we go down. Obviously the trend is down, and you're in good shape for shorts, but look for somewhere there. Another reason why that's a great level. My bad for deleting the fib, but it comes in line with the recent support we broke. So our hourly support at 1.23500 region. We had a nice support, a lot of wicks. We finally broke it, and it's right at our 0.50 fib level. So that'd be a nice area to kind of retest, reject, and go down. So definitely look at that. Have the price action. Long term, this is super long term. It's a buy, as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, in the short term, it's going to be magnetized to this area. This is where all the contracts are. This is where the demand zone is. So there's definitely going to be magnetization to this level. It's just about getting the best entry. So, a nice, fib confluence with a support region right around 1.23500. Consider it a psychological level. So that's where I watch out for. Remove the fib. Let me see if I can draw a trend line. See if that could give any additive benefit. Okay, so perfect. I keep deleting and replotting, but looking at this, our trend line and our recent support all meet at one point. So this is a perfect spot to enter short. Look for a nice fat bearish candle like this one or like this one, and you have a nice entry down. So I will actually be looking out for this. This is 3 confluences all in one. On top of that, we're trading with the trend. We got a huge support zone. So thanks for recommending that. I usually don't look at minors such as this one, but great setup. Fibs are aligning. Support retest is aligning, and we can have a nice setup down. Oops. But yeah, so that's the pound CHF. Anything else? Been thinking about a big one day make or break long coming up. Yeah, it's down for a retrace, obviously. Once the pound Brexit thing figures itself out, it's it's gonna make some recovery. The reason why pound CHF is falling the way it is right now there's a lot of uncertainty with the pound. With Theresa May and Brexit, and then obviously the Swiss franc is a safe haven. So whenever there's global tensions between U.S., China, U.S., Iran, people turn away from U.S. bonds and they go to the safe havens. That's what they call safe havens, and so they gain a lot of strength. And so that's what we've been seeing for the last few months. A lot of pairs losing ground to the Swiss. So that's that. Euro yen, I believe covered. Pound CHF. Aussie yen, I got you. I was looking at Aussie yen longs possible earlier, but let's see what's happening now. Oh, yep. So, came into some nice resistance, and it's looking like we might not have the idea after pushing, going deep in, zooming in. Right at this level, 76.00 or 76.100 region. You know what? Let me just remove this. Plot my favorite tool of life. Seriously, you gotta use these zones, man. I'm telling you. So we we're respecting this zone. I believe we can push up and test it higher, but right now Aussie yen slowing down. Earlier today, it was looking like we're gonna break above and go to 77.650, and we had the Aussie monetary policy, and it was looking like, I believe I have the article open right here. Daily effects, I highly recommend them. They summarize fundamentals amazing. So Audi steady, RBA minutes show labor market still key point metrics. I believe the labor market report comes out Thursday. So right now, Aussie was expected to cut rates this year, and right now it's looking that will stay put unless the labor market job comes out higher. And I believe that's Thursday. Is it Thursday? Oh no. Okay, Wednesday. Employment change and unemployment change. Okay, there we go. So Wednesday is going to be a big day for Aussie and actually the CAD too. So that's what they're waiting on. Go ahead and read this article. So it's a real nice article. Daily effects, recommend them very, very, very much. Anyways, so yeah, Aussie yen. We're running into some resistance right now. We're printing an evening star, hanging man, if you whatever you want to call it. I call it a teardrop candle because it looks like a teardrop. Just looking to the left, we wicked. This was when U.S. and China at the G20 said, you know what, let's do trade negotiations. So we had a huge wick. I don't think we will fill out the gap or anything. Go do a wick fill. Just looking to the left, we've struggled since May around this area, and right now, if we close the way we do, you'd have a nice short down to right here. We're in a range from here to here, and we're actually printing a nice W. A lot of people like to call them W's, double tops, whatever you want to call it. But this is the pattern of a W. Usually, confirmation of a W is candle closure. So if this candle closes the way it does, and we get a candle closing below it, that's perfect. So our W should do something like this: boom, 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 boom. Right. Now I have to remove all these. And another thing is we have this trend line we drew from last week. So if you're conservative trader and you want more confluence, plot this trend line. Okay. And what you want is a break of this trend line, and you don't even have to wait for a break and retest just because we're so close to resistance. As soon as you get that break outside of this trend line, you can do something like this for shorts. Aussie fundamentals is on Wednesday, so we have some time, but you can do something like this once you get that break. And phenomenal risk to reward. This is why you trade at supply and demand zones. Because even if you're wrong, you can still be a winner. There's a stat out there. If you trade with a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, even if you're right 50% of the time, you'll be profitable. So for Aussie yen, whoever asked, look out for something like this. Right now we are showing great signs of rejection at this area. Now all we need is a kind of a pullback down here and a break outside this trend line. Just be wary, we could pull back and bounce off like we've done here. If you see any sort of hammers like the one right here or even this one, don't think about shorting. But if we get a candle like this close outside, or a candle like this close outside, something with or even like this very little wicks to the bottom, you can enter short and have a nice opportunity. I'll just stop it for a bit so you can see the levels. But you can adjust it. We might break the trend line up here, up here, but either way you adjust it, you're still in for a good trade. MAU local news all expecting more cuts. Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole. They were expected to do cuts. I guess they're just holding on to the employment change and unemployment rate on Wednesday. But in terms of fundamentals, it's looking like they'll keep the cuts the way it is. Technicals are showing a short. Especially if we do get a break of this trend line, I'll probably call the short in the signals. Let's look at, I guess any more questions, let me know. If not, I'm just gonna look at Aussie USD, Euro USD since we're in them, and then I'll end off this segment. How many of you guys trade? Just curious, how many of you guys trade Bitcoin or crypto? Just wondering. Okay, so I believe this is a Euro USD chart I used. I don't really like this, but we'll see. We entered right around here, and we're kind of. I don't like this candle at all. I'll probably reevaluate this trade after the session, but we'll see it play out. Our stop loss is I think like 20 pips. But yeah, we took this trade just cause popping out a nice break of the ascending trend line. Break, retest, rejection, coming off resistance at 1.12842. Time for, and on the dollar index we're retracing off support. So I was hoping we could get in some good shorts. Aussie USD, I'm just gonna let it play out. It's good to sit on your hands, not overthink it. My bad. There's so many providers for Aussie. Okay, this is the one. Same deal, popping to the 4-hourly. So, we had a nice little run, right? We're in this kind of ascending channel. We had a nice bounce off this trend line. Last week, I took this trade. I didn't call it. It was just for me. But yeah, it played out to the T. It was like a nice little. So I connected this wick to this wick, and we had a nice push above, retest, and just a rally. Don't get mad I didn't call it. I just didn't want to overtrade. But we came up to this resistance, right to this level at 0.7460. 0.70460. Last time we came up here, we rejected it, had a nice wick. Right here, we printed an evening star. And so, in terms of risk to reward, I can make this even lower if I wanted to. But I just gave it breathing room. It's a nice place to short, 25 pips stop loss with around 60 pips to gain. I mean, you can't really complain about that. But just looking to the left, from here to here is a nice reasonable place to go. On the higher time frame, we do have this ascending channel that we can come down to make a lower low. So that's what I was seeing. Let me look on the hourly. I did put a trend line just as added influence. We started making a series of higher highs, higher lows, and we had a nice break. Currently, we're retesting it, and that's Aussie dollar. Very long session, but I hope it was productive. Tomorrow we will be running one from 11. We'll talk about what happened overnight during London. There's some fundamentals, and we'll see how our trades went. But that is tonight's session. Major shout out to everyone that came out. I appreciate the support and just the overall activity in the chats. And we're getting great receptions. A lot of people are learning how to trade and making great pips. So that's all great. It makes me proud. So yeah, if you guys are in different time zones and the day's just starting out, go back, get some of these key levels down, and while I go to sleep, you guys could probably get on some good trades that we discussed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can either watch on the portal. If you want to ask questions, watch on YouTube. And that is it. So good night to people on the in America or the East Coast, and to everyone else, good morning. And I'll see you tomorrow.